Welcome back to Cybersecurity Insights, your go-to channel for the latest tips and information on protecting your business from cyber threats. I'm AS, and today we're diving deep into a topic that keeps every CEO up at night. We're talking about how hackers get into your business network. You hear about data breaches and ransomware attacks all the time. It can feel like everyone's getting hit. And what's worse, it can feel like there's nothing you can do about it. But that's just not true. Over the next few minutes, I'll break down 6 of the most common attack vectors hackers use to breach business networks. More importantly, I'll show exactly what you can do to protect your business. Stick with me and you'll walk away with actionable insights you can use to start strengthening your defenses today. All right, let's kick things off with social engineering. This is a favorite tactic amongst hackers because it doesn't rely on brute force, but on exploiting the human element, your employees. You see, it's much easier to trick someone into handing over their password than it is to crack it through complex algorithms. We're talking about those phishing emails designed to look like they're from a trusted source, maybe your bank or a well-known service provider. These emails create a sense of urgency, maybe warning of a compromised account or a suspicious transaction. They'll often include a link that takes you to a fake website, a perfect replica of the real thing, designed to steal your login credentials. And it's not just emails, folks. Hackers also use phone calls, posing as IT support or even a fellow employee to extract sensitive information. Think about it. If someone calls claiming your account's been compromised and they need your password to verify, would you hand it over? It's easier than you think to fall for these scams, especially when they're so well crafted. That's why employee training is absolutely critical. Teach your team to spot the telltale signs of a phishing attempt, like misspellings, suspicious email addresses, or requests for sensitive information. Encourage them to verify any suspicious emails or calls, no matter how urgent they seem. A little bit of skepticism can go a long way in preventing a major security breach. Let's move on to another major vulnerability, weak passwords. This one's a bit more straightforward. We all know we should be using strong, unique passwords for each of our accounts, but let's be honest, who hasn't resorted to password 123 or QWERTY at some point? The problem is, hackers know this too. They use automated tools that can try thousands, even millions of password combinations every second. If you're using a weak password, it's not a matter of when they'll crack it, but when. So, what constitutes a strong password? It needs to be at least 12 characters long, include a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. And please, don't use the same password for multiple accounts. That's like leaving all your doors unlocked with the same key. Another layer of security you can implement is multi-factor authentication. This means that even if someone gets hold of your password, they'll still need a second form of verification, like a code sent to your phone or email, to access your account. It might seem like an extra step, but trust me, it's an extra step worth taking. Now let's talk about unpatched software. Imagine your software like a house. Every now and then you discover a crack in the wall or a leaky faucet. Those are software vulnerabilities, weaknesses that hackers can exploit to gain access to your systems. Software vendors regularly release updates and patches to fix these vulnerabilities, essentially patching up those cracks in your walls. But if you don't install those updates, you're leaving your house, or in this case, your network, vulnerable to anyone who knows where to look. Hackers actively search for systems running outdated software, and they have tools that can automate this process. Once they find a vulnerable system, it's game over. They can install malware, steal data, or even take control of your entire network. So what's the solution? Simple. Keep all your software up to date. Enable automatic updates whenever possible and schedule regular checks for any manual updates that need to be installed. Trust me, it's a lot easier to click update than it is to deal with a full-blown security breach. Chapter 4. Insider Threats, the Enemy Within. Moving on to a more internal threat, insider threats. This one's a bit more unsettling because it involves someone within your organization, someone you trust, potentially compromising your security. Now, this isn't always intentional. Sometimes it's a case of negligence, an employee clicking on a phishing link, accidentally downloading malware, or leaving their computer unlocked in a public space. But other times, it can be deliberate. A disgruntled employee seeking revenge, a soon-to-be ex-employee trying to steal sensitive data, or even someone who's been coerced or bribed into cooperating with hackers. These scenarios might sound extreme, but they happen more often than you think. So how do you mitigate this risk? Implement strict access controls. Not everyone needs access to every piece of data. Limit access based on roles and responsibilities. Regularly review and revoke access for employees who no longer require it. And equally important is to monitor employee activity. This isn't about spying on your employees, but about looking for unusual patterns of behavior. Large data transfers at odd hours, multiple failed login attempts, or access to sensitive files that are outside an employee's typical scope of work. By being proactive and vigilant, you can significantly reduce the risk of insider threats. Chapter 5. Public Wi-Fi. Convenience comes at a cost. Let's talk about something we encounter almost daily: public Wi-Fi. It's incredibly convenient, especially when you're on the go, but that convenience often comes at a cost: your security. Think about it. You're at a coffee shop, airport, or hotel, and you connect to their free Wi-Fi network. You have no idea who else is connected to that network, who's running it, or what their intentions might be. It's like leaving your front door wide open and inviting anyone to walk in. Hackers love public Wi-Fi networks. They can easily set up fake Wi-Fi hotspots with legitimate-sounding names, tricking you into connecting to their network instead of the intended one. Once you're connected, they can intercept everything you do online: your emails, passwords, credit card information, everything. So what's the solution? If you must use public Wi-Fi, especially for work-related tasks, always use a VPN, a virtual private network. A VPN encrypts your internet traffic, creating a secure tunnel between your device and the internet, even on an unsecured network. It's like putting all your sensitive information in a locked briefcase before venturing out into the public Wi-Fi wilderness. Chapter 6. Network Vulnerabilities. Securing your digital perimeter. Finally, let's discuss network vulnerabilities. Imagine your network as a fortress with walls, gates, and guards. Network vulnerabilities are like weaknesses in your fortress walls: cracks, holes, or poorly guarded entrances that hackers can exploit to gain access. These vulnerabilities can exist in your hardware, your software, or even your network configuration. Misconfigured firewalls, outdated routers, open ports, insecure protocols. All of these can provide hackers with an easy way in. Think of it this way: every device on your network, every server, every computer, every smartphone, they all represent potential entry points for hackers. And if even one of these devices is vulnerable, it can compromise your entire network. So how do you find and fix these vulnerabilities before hackers do? Regular network security audits are crucial. Think of it like a routine checkup for your network. These audits will help you identify any weaknesses in your systems, configurations, or even your security policies. Understanding these common hacking methods is the first step in protecting your business. By implementing strong security practices and staying vigilant, you can significantly reduce your risk. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cybersecurity tips. See you in the next video.